Everyone in this family hates me. I hope I never see any of you jerks again.
I don't care if I have to get out on your runway and hitchhike. If it costs me everything I own. If I have to sell my soul to the devil himself.
Merry Christmas, little fella.
Hello everyone, what's good? Merry Christmas, happy holidays. I hope you and yours are well and safe. And in the spirit of the festive season, I wanted to do a video on one of the most iconic Christmas films, Home Alone. Now, first of all, we're starting off with CAS, that's Create a Sim for those of you who don't know. And I'm going to do that for just the primary characters of Home Alone 1 and 2. That is Kevin McCallister, his mum Kate McCallister, and the Wet Bandits, Harry and Marv. Then afterwards, we're going to have a little quick speed build of just the exterior of that McCallister house, which is absolutely epic and literally like a dream property. But anyway, just moving back, we're here with my attempt at trying to create Kevin. I say my attempt because I'll be honest, CAS, I have an absolute ball doing CAS, like making up my own kind of characters. I've not really had a lot of experience trying to create Sims based off of actual real life people. I mean, like, I've dabbled. I think most Sims players, I think the very first time you play The Sims, one of the first families you create are basically your own family. So you make your Sim self and you make whoever it is that you live with in your house or in your world, your friends, parents, siblings, like whoever it is, you recreate them. And then if you were like me, when you were just at the tender age of about 13, 14, you probably try and make a grown-up version of yourself with your crush at the time as well. I'll admit, and I've done that. And you know what, I'm not the only one. I'm fairly confident I'm not the only one in their tween-age years who made a little dream family of them and the person who they were crushing on at the time. But anyway, I digress. So I spent a lot of time in the detailed face editor, just really proper trying to get as close as I can to what Macaulay Culkin looked at the time. And it can never be perfect, you know, with the hairs that you've got with the EA game, or even if you download a lot of the incredible custom content that people make. And you know, I thought doing this, I could have just downloaded some people from the gallery and, you know, just focused on creating the house. But I wanted to like test myself, you know, have a little bit of fun, because I do really love playing in CAS. And so a lot of this footage is really just me going to town on getting the eyes right. And, you know, I kind of, at some point when I decided, when I was doing this video, I was like, okay, do I do the entire McCallister family? Because you've not just got Mum and Kevin, you've got the dad, you've got our Peter McCallister, you've got Buzz, I'm sure you had 2 other siblings as well, or at least one other, and then you've got the cousins and Uncle Frank. And then, you know, do you go off the rails? Maybe you put in Old Man Marley as well. Maybe you even put in the cast of Angels of Filthy Souls. You know, that whole Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. I could have done it in the voice, but I pretty much decided as soon as I spoke those words, let's not even bother to attempt. I don't know if you can tell, I lost my voice recently, but we power through, we keep moving, we say our prayers, we eat our vitamins, and yeah, we roll with it. So I've nearly wrapped up Kevin's outfit here. I'm going with the clothes that he wore when he was, you know, planning the big defense of the house when the Wet Bandits broke in. He had this little red jumper and his cargo pants, and like, it was just, what sticks to me the most before that all kicks off is when he's having his little macaroni and cheese dinner. Well, at least trying to. It's one thing, like, when I watched the film again as an adult that I clocked on, I realised this poor boy left all alone with these 2 burglars trying to cause havoc, and he didn't even have a chance to have some dinner. He did all of that defending on an empty stomach. Like, can you actually believe he even got the candles out and everything? Such a little sweetie, bless him. What an absolute ordeal he went through. But anyway, that is my version of Sim Kevin all done. Now we're moving on to our Kate McCallister,
Kevin!
played by the iconic Catherine O'Hara. I think a lot of people today now know her from Schitt's Creek, where she plays Moira Rose. That is phenomenal TV series. Please watch if you haven't already. And I couldn't believe, actually, I didn't realise at the time, she was also the voice of Sally in The Nightmare Before Christmas, another iconic Christmas film that she's got under her belt. Like, Catherine keeps on delivering. It's amazing. And she's got a gorgeous, really distinctive look. So I had a lot of fun trying to recreate that in the Sims self, and also trying to find the right kind of hairstyle for her. Also, can we just talk about the eyelashes on The Sims? These EA lashes, which are just big thick strips. I was like, nah, we're not having that. So I used some custom content eyelashes just to sort that out. You'll see we get to that a little bit later. I actually found that CC via another YouTuber, Kelsey Dangerous. She does these really epic videos on YouTube and on Twitch. Shameless plug, big fan of hers. So yeah, she has on her Patreon a list of all the CC that she uses. So there's so much custom content out there, like you don't really know where to start, and it seems like there's never any end. So it's always awesome to look at other simmers who are online and just see where they get some of their CC, and then you'll just discover more from there on the outset. So that's where I got those eyelashes, if anyone's ever curious on downloading some for their game. And still speaking of CC, actually, the one thing I really wanted to have, but they don't have, well, not in the packs that I have anyway. I don't have all the Sims packs, but what I really wanted was that cool, like, I say cool, inverted commas cool, the beige, like, coat, like, that she wears. And I call it, a lot of me and my friends do call it the Peter McCallister, because in Home Alone 2, when they're running in the airport and Kevin's running behind his dad, all he has to go off is following, like, the tan / beige long winter coat while his dad's sprinting to the gate. And in this first film, she has a similar coat that she's wearing when she's trying to travel back home. And I was just like, oh, I wish, like, there was a tan coat that we could use in here. I'm not sure if any of the other packs, maybe, that I don't have, or any of the kits that have been released recently, some of the fashion ones, they might have something similar in there. But at the time, I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole of searching for coats, for CC coats, although that would have been an absolute dream to have that in there. So instead, I just went off, like, more of an inspired kind of look. I think you'll see with the other characters overall, like, you can't get them perfect in terms of the clothes and the hairstyles and even just the look in general, but, you know, it's an homage, and, you know, we try and get as close to, you know, accurate as possible within the game. And the packs that I've got already, you can see the random sim that initially got generated, she's just in some outdoor hiking gear, and then I spend a lot of time just looking at what kind of clothes that she would wear. They're a very comfortable, financially comfortable household, I'd say, you know what I mean? Like, they're off gallivanting to Paris over Christmas. That ain't cheap. Leaving all the lights on in the house while they're away on a timer. And then even in Home Alone 2, you know, going off to Miami and paying for Uncle Frank and his family as well. You know, he's not chipping in anything except his opinion. But so I was just like, I bet she's very well put together. You know, maybe likes a bit of the finer things in life, and that's reflected through her outfits. So I spent a bit of time trying to find brown or beige coats that could have worked, and some of them felt a little bit too modern, because this film was from the 90s, not late 80s, is it? I'm pretty sure it's the 90s. So I wanted clothes that kind of reflected that, and in the end I go for just like a beige / cream jumper and just some trousers. So just imagine, you know, she's whipped the coat off for a little bit, you know, and it's just somewhere in invisible land that we won't acknowledge, but it's there in spirit, in our dreams. That iconic McCallister coat. So we're just about wrapping up Kate now, and then we're going to move on to the first Wet Bandit, our favourite. It's Harry. Look at me now forgetting. Is it Harry or Marv? Which one is Joe Pesci? Is that Harry? I think that's Harry. Yeah, it's Harry. Sorry. Which one is it? Harry, Marv? Harry, Marv. It's Harry. How many more times can I say Harry, please? So anyway, yes, good old Joe Pesci. Absolutely iconic in this film. And I only recently, about 2 years ago, I watched Goodfellas for the first time. He's so good in that film. And apparently, sorry if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read that he filmed Goodfellas very close to when he was doing Home Alone or going to do Home Alone. So I think like a lot of the like the rage or the emotions that he was kind of going and doing that kind of mafia kind of mob like gang film, it was still kind of carried over a little bit into how he was performing his character, because he's such a hothead. He is such a hothead. He's always fuming, absolutely livid, and it's really messed up. Like, imagine having a kid making you sweat that much. Like, really, you're gonna get that heated and angry about a child? Like, just leave it be. But no, because it was in the scene in the film, there's a bit where he bumps into him, Kevin, he bumps into Harry like on accident. No, he nearly gets run over. That's it. So there's the bloody hell, I'm dancing all around the place trying to get this out, but I really want to highlight this. So Harry and Marv are waiting in their car, just skulking out the neighborhood, just trying to get a read on where they're going to target. Kevin's walking home and he accidentally gets hit by their van. And, you know, he's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I didn't see you. And Harry's just like, oh, it's fine, just be more careful next time. And then he goes, Merry Christmas. And he has this snide little smile. I think his gold tooth, kind of peeks out as well. And it just completely throws Kevin, because he's like, that's really menacing. Have I seen that before? Because, you know, obviously he was in their house earlier pretending to be a policeman. But then Harry's just like, I don't like the way that kid looked at me. Like, seriously, dude, like, it's not that deep. But yeah, hothead, perhaps maybe low-key a little bit sensitive. You know, just doesn't want to be disrespected. Facially, this was pretty hard, like trying to make him look as close to Joe Pesci as possible. I was buzzing that I found the hat. His hat, like his little beanie, I was so glad that was already in the game. And then later on, when I do his outfit, there was a custom content outfit with a coat and jeans and jumper, which kind of just really looked the part, because he just has a kind of, it's a grey or brown, just like kind of woolen long coat, you know, gotta layer up in those cold winters, and that really kind of fit the bill as well. But it was just about getting the face right. And, you know, like I've said before, we're gonna go with an homage. It's never gonna be spot on, but he's always kind of scowling in the film. He's always kind of scowling in the film for the most part. So I really wanted just his default look when he's not expressionless or reacting with a particular emotion to still look really mean. And then for his traits, I put hates children, is a hothead, and is materialistic, just because, you know, his goal is to just accumulate a lot of wealth. And just to age him up, he's pretty much just an adult. He's not an elder, but in The Sims world, just because I didn't have enough CC to kind of age him up, turning him into an elder just helped kind of age him up a little bit better. So the last little bits for Harry now are just giving him his signature gold tooth. They don't have one gold tooth in The Sims, so I had to just settle for just sporadic teeth throughout the mouth that just have gold on them, which is, you know, fair dues, you do you. And then just finishing / picking his boots, and then we move on to Marv. So for Marv, the main thing I wanted to try and get down properly was his hair. It was very, you know, iconically, you know, tight curly hair, slightly unkempt, and there's a variation of different curly hairs in The Sims, but from the ones that I found, I couldn't really find the one that was pretty close to what his hair was like in real life. So then in the end I just found this kind of side parting one, which kind of, you know, it gives, you know, a similar sort of effect in terms of just, you know, wild curly hair that, you know, he doesn't really pay much attention to styling it of a morning, too busy plotting what houses to burgle and flood. Can we talk about that actually really quickly as well? How horrendous to come home and find your house not only burgled but then flooded. Like, irreparable damage. That's absolutely gutting. That's a really wicked thing to do. Like, I mean, yeah, good thing they end up behind bars. Spoiler alert. But if you haven't seen Home Alone and you're watching this video, oh my gosh, please go and watch it now. It's epic, 1 and 2. Can't talk for any of the later iterations because I didn't watch them and I don't really want to. But anyway, so yeah, again with Marv's outfit, it's going to be very sort of similar energy to Harry's. He doesn't have a hat, but again, it's just kind of like a long overcoat, trousers, shoes, jumper, you know, very standard, not too exciting. They didn't have, in my packs, we don't have any fingerless gloves. That was one thing I was hoping to get, hoping to have, but they don't have them, interestingly. Well, not in the packs I have anyway. There was similar to when I was looking for coats for Kate McCallister. Some of the outfits are just read a little bit too modern for when the film was set. I mean, the clothes aren't particularly like, they're not anything too avant-garde or particularly dated, so to speak. You know, there's, you know, fashion always repeats itself, and you could say actually a lot of people today tend to wear clothes which were very popular in the 90s, you know, the kind of baggy, kind of layered look. But some of the coats in the Sims wardrobe, just it wasn't hitting it. And then in the end, I just kind of went for kind of a simple coat and jeans combo. It looks a little bit swish, maybe a bit maybe too well kept and looked after, but you know, needs must. And at this point I was like, oh, I'm nearly done, because I was just like, this has been so much harder than I thought it would be. But again, a lot of fun just to dabble in, to test yourself. I think going forward, maybe I'll stick to just creating original characters, although I don't know if any other film or series inspires me, who knows. But we are now drawing to a close, and I'm going to leave you with some festive tunes and the speed build of the exterior of the McCallister house. I've only done the exterior because the house is massive, and honestly it frustrated me a little bit in terms of I attempted to start doing the interior, but just getting the layout right to match as close to the film as possible, particularly with the kitchen and the island situation, it was wrecking my head a little bit, honestly. And I think there is a way around it. I personally lost a bit of patience and thought, well, you know what, it's fine. I think I'm just going to make the exterior, upload that to the gallery, and then people can furnish the inside to their heart's delight. So yeah, that is my festive gift to anybody who wants it. You can download the outside of the house, that's all taken care of, and you get to have fun being an interior designer. You can replicate it just like the film, or you can jazz it up and do your own modern spin on the inside. The floor plan, there's loads of websites. I think you literally just Google Home Alone house, and there's a ton of websites and forums and chat and whatever with, you know, pictures of the real life house. There's been so many articles about it in the past, so you can see pretty much most of the sides from the pictures. Also watching the film, to get the back of the house in particular, I went back to footage on the film, because you know you've got the basement stairs where Marv slides down, that back entrance, and just because the house looks simple from the front, it looks like it's just a massive rectangle, which in theory it kind of is, with just a lot of the same kind of grandiose windows and a lot of festive decorations to jazz it up, and a nice landscaping on the front. But then the inside, there's so many rooms, and then there was the basement business as well, because initially I put it on a foundation, but then when I committed to doing the basement section as well, that caused me a little bit of mini grief. But you know, it's a good start. It's a good start anyway. The layout is based on a floor plan that I found, as I said before. One part of the house which I didn't really get to do, I say didn't really, I definitely didn't do, was the attic. Obviously in the film, after, oh my gosh, the kitchen scene. So Kevin wants cheese pizza because he doesn't have any other topping. Everyone ate a slice, didn't leave anything for him. Buzz took the last slice and started mocking him. Kevin got angry, pushed him over, and then, you know, the milk falls over. His little cousin gets squished against the wall. And so savage, Uncle Frank just decides to pin the entire situation on Kevin. Is like, look what you did, you little jerk. I hated him, you know. Really had no time for him. Snide, unloving uncle. But yeah, so Kevin has that mare. No one's on his side. His mum sends him up off to the attic where he goes to sleep, and then obviously gets forgotten about when they all go off to the airport. But to do an attic level in The Sims is to do an entire another floor level. So the house would have looked 3 stories, like there would have been basically a whole other section on top of the windows. But obviously in real life, you know, attic places can be built within the roofing. There's no way to do that in The Sims. So the corridor kind of extends and then just leads to another room, and that is technically the space where the staircase would go, you know, the loft stairs. But can't do that in there. If anyone has a go at maybe finding a way to do it with it still looking fairly accurate, like, amazing. Other than that, yes, it is the full house with basement, and you can do laundry as well if you've got the laundry day stuff pack. But, you know, did what I could, recreated it, homage. We keep on coming back to that word because that's basically a little bit of a disclaimer to say, well, I never said it was going to be completely 100% accurate, so please nobody come for me on how inaccurate the characters look in The Sims and how inaccurate the house is. Did what I could. It was a lot of fun, and thanks for watching this video and listening to me ramble about Home Alone, and just we've danced around a few kind of mini topics, but it's been fun. Have a lovely festive season. Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. Happy holidays if you don't. Please enjoy the merry tunes, which I hope I'm able to find because I'm speaking to this in like sort of early editing mode. I've not even thought about the songs that I'm going to throw in here. So hopefully it's festive tunes to get you in the mood. If it's not, oh hey, it's just going to be a little pop and rock mix. Who knows? So that's going to be exciting for you to find out soon. But I'll leave you to it. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope anyone who plays The Sims that you do like download the characters and the house. I will upload them to the gallery and I will put their IDs in the description. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Stay well, stay safe, stay healthy, and be happy. Speak to you later. Bye.